Hello everyone, my name is Alessandro and this is the Temple of Surf, the podcast. We'll give you full access to the best surfers, skaters, shapers, surfboard collectors, shop owners in the world. Discover with me their stories, the greatest successes, amazing behind the scenes and much more. Aloha, welcome to the third series of the Temple of Surf, the podcast. I'm so happy to be back with another amazing series. It's so surprising to see how much we achieved so far. I'd like to thank you, our guests, our supporters, and everybody that helped me to make this beautiful journey stronger every day. In this new series, there are a lot of great news. First one, we listen to you, and at least 40% of the episodes are dedicated to womenssurfing. Second, we explore other surf podcasts around the world. And third, we interview 3 world champions. Please don't hesitate to give us feedback. I really hope you enjoyed these episodes. Thank you so much. Mahalo. Hello again. Welcome to the first episode of our podcast. Today with us 1993 world champion Pauline Menczer. We discuss with her about her amazing stories, womenssurfing, and the newly released movie Girls Can Surf. Hi Pauline and welcome to the show. Where are you today?
Thank you, I'm great. I'm in Byron Bay, Australia.
Fantastic. So first of all, congratulations for the GoFund campaign that was very successful. I guess a lot of people love you and are there to support you. So I'm very happy that the goal was reached and that so many people in effect participated to it. What was your reaction when you heard that?
Well, the first few days I was watching it and it was staying around $3,000. And then there was a big media release, like it went in the paper Australia-wide, and then some people saw it and started sharing it on Instagram. And then the surfing community started sharing it, and like lots of people who knew me back in the day on tour, and it just went wild. Like, I could not believe it. Every hour it was going up $1,000. And we had an amount of $25,000 because that was sort of roughly around the amount of money I would have won if I got my bonus at the end of winning the world title. And, there was most of my life on tour also I wasn't sponsored. And back then, the reason I wasn't sponsored, they said, is because I didn't have the look that they wanted. So basically, amount was thought about, and then I'm like, what if it goes over? Can we give it to charities? I'd love to give it to charities.
Definitely.
And so we quickly changed the GoFundMe to have $25,000, and then the rest goes to charities of my choice. And people still kept giving. It's up to $40,000 now, and they still keep giving. So I just feel really blessed and really, really loved. It's fantastic to get the support, and I'm really happy that I can share that love as well with people who really, really need it.
Yeah, definitely. It's such an amazing news. In fact, I usually start the podcast with a different question, but as this is so important and so meaningful, because bring us back all to our human part, right? And do what is right. And it's so amazing to see how many people are connected to this and to you. So I just wanted to start the podcast with this great news. So I'm very happy. You're happy, and this is amazing. It's a good thing. So
yeah, thank you.
First question that I want to ask you is, in your opinion, what is the most important thing in surfing?
For me, the most important thing, you're talking about on a professional level, right?
In general, like for you can be
in general?
Yeah.
The most important thing in general is just to have fun.
Yeah.
Really appreciate good health and being able to get in the ocean because, we all live such busy lifestyles, and the ocean, you're able to just capture a moment of bliss, really, and just enjoy the moment.
Yeah, definitely. Enjoying the moment it's very important. When you are out there surfing, it doesn't really matter who you are. It's just you and the ocean, and maybe few good friends, right? So that's very, very important. Do you remember your first proper surfboard, and do you still have that one?
Well, It was really funny because I started on a cool light surfboard and someone broke. I was actually my brother broke one in half. So that was the first board I had. And then I remember seeing a photo in a book on Bondi, and it was a photo of me grabbing this fiberglass surfboard, really wanting it, thinking, oh, someone just left this on the beach. I'm going to take it. Little known to me, it was someone that was just swimming and they'd left it there. Anyway, it's funny that ended up in a book. But anyway, so then it was time to get my first fiberglass board, and I never forget going into the surf shop, walking up to this guy and saying, I really want this surfboard, but it's $40. Would you take $20 for it? And he said, yes, of course. And he saw me surfing, so he gave me that board really cheap. And then, my whole career kind of ended up like that, like getting my favourite board that way by wheeling and dealing. And then the way I survived on tour was doing the same thing. I was always buying cheap things and reselling it because of the lack of support that I had while I was on tour.
Yeah, I guess at least good memories of that first surfboard and person that accepted half of the money for it, and at the end is trying to keep the stock, right, and pass it to another person.
Yeah.
So that's
yeah. I wish I did keep that board, but you do go through so many boards throughout your career, and no one really told me, you should keep your first surfboard. But I remember it was called a hot dot.
Okay.
It was quite a funny name for a surfboard, but yeah, I've never seen it. I've never seen it anywhere, so I guess that ended up in landfill.
Cool. So you had an amazing career. In your opinion, what was the defining moment of your career?
So there was a few moments, like when I won the world title, obviously in '93, because I had incredibly bad arthritis. I had a flare-up of arthritis before I went to go for my world title. And so I was dealing every day with just trying to move my body like a normal person can. And I wasn't able to free surf at all. I only surfed my heats. So that was a really big challenge. And to actually walk away and win the world title was like so amazing. It was like my own personal journey was eventually satisfied. They really won for me. So it became a very personal journey. And then another favourite part of the tour was when they finally moved it to somewhere like Fiji and Tahiti, first night wave, because we were following the tour with all these terrible waves, and every time the women were on, they'd say, like if the surf was good, they'd say, okay, put the men on, and then if the surf was bad, they'd go, okay, now put the women on.
Oh.
And so when we were able to go in a place where the surf was really good, we got to finally show what our talent was like.
Oh, that like saying that today is like a kind of just incredible, and it didn't happen so many years ago.
No, we had so many challenges on the tour for just like everyday life things that should have been accepted or done. And if you watch the movie Girls Can't Surf, you'll be blown away at how many challenges we actually had.
I mean, definitely, I will. I'll look at the movie. It's just been released in Australia, right? So a few days ago, and definitely is gonna be a reference on. I'm trying to understand what was women surfing like almost 30 years ago.
Yeah, well, so the interesting thing is I've had a lot of messages from people that were on a tour, and I had one just 5 minutes before I called you, and that they didn't have any idea, a lot of them. They really had no idea. And to hear that, and then I was just, again, one of the pros just offered me money to help, and I was just like, wow, like how things have changed, and how you see now also lots of dads taking their girls surfing, whereas before it was like, no, you girls aren't surfing, that's a boy sport. And so things have come in leaps and bounds with all that kind of attitude.
So it's it's a very difficult topic, right? It should be like if we look at it today, in your opinion, what is still yet to change? Like of course a lot of things improved. That's good news. But what's the next thing to achieve, in your opinion, in women surfing today?
I think like sometimes the guys still think that their role is more important than a woman's role. And so that's where I think things need to change. Like, for instance, a lot of these surfing corporation, big companies and the surfing magazines and all that, they need to start hiring women. Women need to be in charge because they've already proven they do a fantastic job at it.
Yeah.
And they've always just held it as a guy's job. So I would like to see change where they're just accepting someone who's really good at the job rather than what sex they are.
Yeah, definitely. And it's giving more exposure, right, to women as well.
Yeah, and I mean, even now as a retired surfer, a lot of the guys that were on tour are still getting sponsored and doing, really well out of surfing, whereas us women have been forgotten about. It's only because of this movie that everything's happened for me the last week. Everything's going crazy because people are like, oh, my God, we can't believe it. But as soon as the movie started showing and there was one or two news articles, it just went crazy. People are like, what? And people really love the movie as well, the way it's all been put together. And so it's getting shared like crazy. And then there's a lot of women now I'm talking to that are like, we need to keep this going. Like, we need to show that people just need to be themselves and fight for what they believe in. And, it's just amazing.
Yeah. In effect, it's, if you want to say it's a bad thing that things have been forgotten, that also your title was not awarded right. But it's an amazing thing to see, like, as we said at the beginning, the amount of people really like that they take this opportunity and to support you, to support women surfing, but also to make a change and an impactful one. And maybe this is the last time ever that we hear about stories of non-equality, right? And
yes.
And definitely
I feel like there's a shift happening already, but I think movies like this will really make a big shift. That's what my hope is.
Definitely.
Like now I still look at some of the top pro guys and girls, and you can tell they're still doing stuff that their sponsors want them to do. Like, who really feels comfortable with a swimsuit going up their bottom? They're wearing G-strings. That's not comfortable. And so for me, they're doing that because the whole thing of like sex sells.
Yeah.
And as an athlete, I don't believe it should be sex sells. It should be your surfing sells you.
Yeah.
And so my thing is, I truly believe that people just need to be themselves.
Yeah. And, definitely you're talking about that is also what Instagram today, it's especially Instagram, if you want to say, shows like beautiful pictures and people like them. But then I had the opportunity to speak with a lot of surfer, women and men, and they all telling me about okay, we are blessed to have such a huge following, but we want to do something more and something more meaningful with that following. It cannot be just pretty picture or nice picture.
Yeah.
And linked to what you were saying, I think we have all, as a surfer or members of the surf culture, our responsibility to educate the rest of the world.
But a lot of people just talk. Like, for instance, I had the GoFundMe straight away. I'm giving to charity. So people just talk about doing something. Just do it. You don't have to talk about it. Do it.
I agree with you.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
Yeah, and I've only found Instagram, the platform, and watched how it works just the last 4 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Before that, I just would put a picture up once a month and didn't really know what I was doing. Now I'm learning how you can share things, and then if you see someone post something, you can post it on your page, and how it's all really quite connected.
Yeah.
And so on the weekend, I realised, wow, I've got a rare disease. Rare disease needs some publicity. So I quickly asked Kelly Slater, Stephanie Gilmore, anyone I could think of. I private messaged them and I sent them 2 pictures and asked, can they put that on their story or on their post? And a lot of people shared it.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the...
And so instantly I was able to create a platform where people who have this rare disease have no voice and could be a voice for them.
Definitely. And that's the network of, if you want to say, you pro surfers, that you have like the best visibility, but also my responsibility as well, to promote and to share. It's the you're referring to the day that was for rare disease, right? The rare disease day. I think it was very very impactful to see how many of people are impacted by diseases today and that are not curable, and something has to be done.
There's over 6,000 diseases, and there's no medicine for so many and no help.
Yeah.
Like a perfect example, my disease, in Australia, you get funding for certain diseases and not others. So because I've got a rare one, I have to pay for my medicine. And so that kind of thing shouldn't happen. It shouldn't be just because it's rare, you don't get help. And that's why awareness needs to be created for people with rare illnesses, or just illnesses in general. It's so unfair the way that it's funded.
Yeah, I guess also to be complete, I think there are diseases that they have cure and medicine, and diseases that have no medicine yet, right?
Exactly. Like the one medicine that works is called rituximab for my disease. My disease is called pemphigus vulgaris, and pemphigus is spelled Penthhigus. And so for this illness, like in Australia, it's $1,500 for an infusion.
Oh, wow.
And in the States, I've seen a difference between $25,000 and $75,000 for the same drug.
My God.
Each infusion. So that tells me that the whole system is just ridiculous.
I see.
So in America, it works on insurance companies. And then how can a hospital charge someone $25,000 and someone $75,000?
Yeah, definitely. It's difficult to understand, at least, let's put it in this way.
Yeah.
And then, but I hope things, I always go for the positive things, and more we all speak about, the more people will take an action.
Exactly.
You, in your career, but in your life, you met a lot of surfers. Some of them were super pro, some of them were regular surfers. Was there a meeting that was particularly meaningful for you? Like one surfer that you remember particularly?
Probably. I mean, I respected all the women I traveled on tour with because we did work together a lot to make things happen. But someone I admire now as a complete person, all-rounded, is Stephanie Gilmore. She's just absolutely incredible in every way. She's very humble, very generous, giving, an absolutely amazing surfer, well-spoken. Yeah, Happy Gilmore, and she's just really loved, and she's been an absolute amazing ambassador for women and surfing, I feel. And now, like, seeing also Tyler Wright, who's standing up for the fair rights of people. I think it's great for her to be doing that. And she's someone who's not just talking about doing something, she's doing it.
I like that because you said it twice already. I think you are like doer, right? If you can do it, do it. We said it before.
Exactly.
I like that. I really do.
And again, like being sick, I was sick for 2 years with this disease. I felt absolutely helpless. I could barely do anything for myself. So now that I'm better, I'm like, right, now it's time to make some changes.
Definitely. So quite a lot changed for you in the last few weeks.
Yep.
Do you have something else in mind, like kind of future projects that comes from this amazing experience or different experience of the last few weeks that you have in mind? You are planning to do something particular?
So I'd like to still be a voice and share the message that's in the movie and keep talking about that, because it needs to be shared for people just to be themselves and speak up for things they believe in. I'm not real great at organising those things, but I'm good at talking. So if I've got a good team around me, I think things will happen.
Yeah, I think it's a very important.
And the attention I'm getting now, I'm able to share that, and it's just been incredible so far.
And I think it's very important, you have like a a different story and also a beautiful story, because still you won a world title, so that's a beautiful thing.
And the year that I won the world title, I couldn't move, so it was absolutely amazing to still have been able to win the world title, even though my arthritis was so bad.
Yeah,
it was just such a good feeling to win with a disability.
So it's an inspiring story that you can share with the new generation and with the people in general. And I think from this experience, definitely talking more about your story, your life, your success, your difficulties, I think is going to inspire quite a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of people through COVID are really angry that they're locked in and they can't go out and that it's so hard being locked in.
Yeah.
A lot of these people need to actually think those thousands of people around them that are sick and can't get out of their bed and can't go out anywhere. There's so many people that suffer every day that they're only getting a little small taste of what it's like.
Yeah, definitely. What you're
does
saying?
Does that make sense?
No, of course it does. Of course it does. But I guess also from bad experiences, like the one that can be the COVID one, that is a tragic experience for a lot of people. I think that can help people sensibilize with problems that other people that have in their everyday life, right? And not not just take them for not for granted, but not considering them. Now, when people start to have the same problem, then they become more listening, right, and understanding. And so you totally make sense, and I agree with you.
And that's to me what makes me feel like, with I've gone blank now. Sorry. Oh, these steroids sometimes make me forget what I need to say. Yeah, but people being materialistic, with COVID, they've gone back to the basics of what, they'll just be happy to be in nature, be allowed to go out and ride their bike or go for a walk.
Yeah.
That's how I've lived my life. I don't want to have a Rolls Royce. I don't want to have name brand clothes. I don't care about that kind of stuff. I just care about being healthy and being me.
Yeah. No,
and I think a lot of people will be a lot happier if they just start being themselves. And Instagram has kind of created such a fake world as well.
Definitely, the social media in general, they are projecting. One funny thing I was discussing. I think I remember. I think it was Alex Gray. He was telling me, Alessandro, I post a picture of me surfing, but I don't post my wipeout, and of course that kind of if you put that of course it's a fun way of seeing things, right? Every surfer in Instagram is a super surfer, right? Doesn't
exactly
the wipeout never happens, and that is part of the deal, right? But everybody, I guess is how the things are done. Right, over this platform or other platform, but definitely share the messages, and if you can see the positive things, the glass half full, even in a tragic moment as the COVID one.
Yeah, that's something I'll live by. You talk about a surfer saying something that reminds you that was really in your life. It's actually something my mother said. She always said to me, there's a positive in every negative.
Exactly. I totally
agree. And so I live by that as well. There's definitely, no matter, even we had a hard time in life on tour and I didn't have sponsors, I won more events than everybody. So that was the positive.
Yeah.
And then I didn't have sponsors, but I well and truly learned how to look after myself. I learned how to buy anything and sell anything so I could survive. And so there's life lessons in, sometimes you don't know why these things happen, but there's life lessons in things that happen.
It's called resilience, right? So
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna finish our interview with a short Q&A session. So please answer the first thing that comes up to your mind. It's gonna be very fast.
Okay.
The best surfboard that you ever ridden?
Sky surfboard, twin fin with 2 stabilizers, and won the world title on it.
Fantastic. Your favorite shaper?
My favorite shaper would be Gérard de Paris from France.
Okay. Nice, interesting. Personal question, your favorite song?
I'm really hopeless. I don't know names of songs.
What's your favorite genre?
I used to love Madonna.
Oh, Madonna. Okay.
I like I like dance music, just happy music.
Okay, cool. Your favorite surf spot?
My favorite surf spot would be Winky Pot near Bells Beach.
Okay. Your favorite woman surfer? I think you told us already, right?
Yes, definitely.
That was an easy one. And the last one is a little bit unusual. We ask everybody on the show. Has nothing to do with surf. We want to know your best relationship advice.
My best relationship advice would be have patience.
Yes, definitely, right? It's very important. And it goes also with listening, and it goes with a lot of other things. And if we will be more patient in the world today, definitely will be a better world, I think. Definitely.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, Pauline, for being with me on the show. And I really appreciate the time that you dedicated to me and to us. And I look forward to talk to you very, very soon.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Ciao. Bye-bye. And I wish you a great day. Hi, it's me again. I hope you enjoyed our today's episode. If you want to know more about us, please follow www.templeofsurf.com and all our social media. Mahalo!